that water tank way back yonder?
Yeah.
That's where I started from. This is the farthest I ever gone without once falling off. I mean, it will be if I can manage to stick on to that next telephone pole. Well, here I go.
Hurt yourself?
I skinned my knee a little. Glad I didn't put my silk stockings on.
Spit on it. That takes the sting away.
Okay.
That's animal medicine, you know? They always lick their wounds.
I know. The principal damage was done to my bracelet, I guess. I knocked out one of the diamonds. But did it go?
You never could find it in all them cinders.
I don't know. It had a lot of shine.
It wasn't a genuine diamond.
How do you know?
I just imagine it wasn't. 'Cause if it was, you wouldn't be walking along a railroad track with a banged up doll and a piece of rotten banana.
Oh, I wouldn't be so sure. I might be peculiar or something. You never can tell. What's your name?
Tom?
Mine's Willie. We both got boys' names.
How did that happen?
I was expected to be a boy, but I wasn't. They had one girl already, Alva. She was my sister. Why ain't you in school?
Well, I thought it was going to be windy, so I could fly my kite.
What made you think that?
Because the sky was so white.
Is that a sign?
Yeah?
I know. It looks like everything had been swept off with a broom, don't it?
Yeah?
It's perfectly white. It's white as a clean piece of paper.
Uh-huh.
But there isn't a wind.
No.
It's too high up for us to feel it. It's way, way up in the attic. Sweeping the dust off the furniture up there.
Uh-huh. Why ain't you at school?
I habituated 2 years ago this winter.
What grade was you in?
5A.
Miss Preston?
Yep. She didn't think my hands was dirty. Till I explained that it was cinders from falling off the railroad tracks so much.
She is pretty strict.
Oh no. She's just disappointed because she didn't get married. Probably never had an opportunity, poor thing. So she has to teach 5A for the rest of her natural life. They started teaching algebra and I didn't give a goddamn what X stood for. So I quit.
You'll never get an education walking the railroad tracks.
You won't get one flying red kite neither. Besides,
Why?
what a girl needs to get along is social training. I learned all that from my sister Alva. She had a wonderful popularity with the railroad men.
Train engineers?
Engineers, firemen, conductors, even the freight superintendent. We run a boarding house for the railroad men. She was, I guess you might say, the main attraction. Beautiful. Jesus. She looked like a movie star.
Your sister?
Yeah. One of them used to bring a regular after each run. A great, big, heart-shaped, red silk box of assorted chocolates, and nuts, and hot candies. Marvelous.
Yeah?
You know where Alva is now?
Memphis?
No.
New Orleans?
No.
St. Louis?
You'll never guess.
Where is she then?
She's in the bone orchard.
What?
Bone orchard, cemetery, graveyard. Don't you understand English?
Sure. That's pretty tough.
You don't know the half of it, buddy. We used to have some high old times in our big yellow house.
I bet you did.
Musical instruments going all the time.
Instruments? What kind?
Oh, piano, Victrola, Hawaiian steel guitar. Everyone played on something. But now, it's awful quiet. You don't hear a sound from that, do you?
No. Is it empty?
Except for me. They got a big sign stuck up.
What does it say?
This property is condemned.
You ain't still living then.
Uh-huh.
What happened? Where did everyone go?
Mama ran off with the brakeman on the C&EI. After that, everything went to pieces. You hear that whistle? That's the Cannonball Express. It's the fastest thing on wheels between St. Louis, New Orleans, and Memphis. My old man got to drinking.
Where is he now?
Disappeared. I guess I ought to refer his case to the Bureau of Missing Persons. The same as he done with Mama when she disappeared. Then there was me and Alva. Till Alva's lungs got affected. Did you see Greta Garbo in Hamile? It played at the Delta Brilliant one time last spring. She had the same as what Alva died of. Lung affection.
Yeah?
Only it was very beautiful the way she had it, you know? Violins playing. And loads of white flowers. All of her lovers came back in a beautiful scene.
Yeah?
But Alva's all disappeared. Like rats from a sinking ship. That's how she used to describe it. It wasn't like death in the movies.
No.
She says, "Where's Albert? Where's Clemence?" None of them was around. I used to lie to her. I says, "They send their regards. They're coming to see you tomorrow." "Where's Mr. Johnson?" she asked me. He was the freight superintendent, the most important character we ever had in our rooming house. "He's been transferred to Grenada," I told her, "but wishes to be remembered." She known I was lying.
Yeah?
"This here is the payoff," she says. "They all run out on me like rats from a sinking ship." Except Sydney.
Who is Sydney?
The one that used to bring her the great big, enormous, red silk box of American Beauty chocolate.
Oh,
He remained faithful to her.
that's good.
She never did care for Sydney, though. She said his teeth was decayed, so he didn't smell good.
Oh,
It wasn't like death in the movies. Controlling ties in movies, they play violins.
but they didn't for Alva?
No, not even the goddamn controller. They said it didn't agree with the hospital regulations. Always singing around the house.
Who? Alva?
Throwing enormous parties. This was a favorite number. "You're the only star in my blue heaven, and you're shining just for me." This is her clothes I got on, inherited from her. Everything Alva's is mine, except for her solid gold beads.
What happened to them?
She never took them off.
Oh.
I've also inherited all of my sister's bows. Albert, Clemence, even the freight superintendent.
Yeah?
They all disappeared. Afraid they might get stuck for expenses, I guess. But now they turn up again. All of them. Like a bunch of bad pennies. They take me out places at night. I've got to be popular now. To parties and dances and all the railroad fest. Look at here.
What?
I can do bumps.
Frank Waters said that.
What?
You know.
No what?
You took him inside and danced for him with your clothes on.
Oh. Crazy doll's hand needs washing. I'm scared to wash it though, 'cause her head might come unglued if she had that compound fracture of the skull. I think that most of her brain spilled out. She's been acting silly ever since, saying and doing the most outrageous things.
Why don't you do that for me?
What, for glue on your compound fracture?
No, what you did for Frank Waters.
Because I was lonesome then, and I am not lonesome now. You can tell Frank Waters that. Tell him I've inherited all of my sister's bows. I've got steady with men in responsible Uncle John's. The sky sure is white, ain't it? It's white as a clean piece of paper. In 5A, we used to draw pictures. Miss Preston gave us a piece of white foolscap and tell us to draw what we pleased.
What did you draw?
I remember. One time I'd drawn her a picture of my old man getting conked with a bottle. She thought it was good, Miss Preston. She said, "Look here. Here's a picture of Charlie Chaplin with his hat on the side of his head." I said, "Oh, no. That's not Charlie Chaplin. That's my father. And that's not his hat. It's a bottle."
What did she say?
Oh, well, you can't make a school teacher laugh. You're the only star in my blue heaven. The principal used to say there must have been something wrong with my home atmosphere because of the fact that we took in the railroad men and some of them slept with my sister.
Did they?
She was the main attraction. The house sure is empty now.
You ain't still living there, are you?
Uh-huh.
By yourself?
I'm not supposed to be, but I am. The property is condemned, but there's nothing wrong with it. Some canny investigator came snooping around yesterday. I recognized her by the shape of her hat. It wasn't exactly what I would call stylish looking.
Huh?
It looked like something she took off the lid of the stove. Alva knew lots about style. She had ambitions to be a designer for big wholesale firms in Chicago. She used to submit her pictures. It never worked out. You're the only star in my blue heaven.
What did you do about the investigators?
Laid low upstairs, pretended like no one was home.
Well, how did you manage to keep on eating?
Oh, I don't know. You keep a sharp lookout, you see things lying around. This banana, perfectly good, for instance, thrown in a garbage bag at the back of the Bluebird Cafe.
Like Miss Preston, for instance.
Oh, no, not her. She gives you a piece of white paper and says, draw what you please. One time, I drawn her a picture of... Oh, but I told you that, huh? Will you give Frank Waters a message?
Why?
Tell him that the freight superintendent has bought me a pair of kid slippers. Patent. The same as the old ones of Alva's. I'm going to dance with them at the Moonlight Casino. All night I'll be dancing and come home drunk in the morning. We'll have serenades with all kinds of musical instruments. Trumpets and trombones and Hawaiian steel guitars. Yeah, and the sky will be white. Like this.
Will it?
Yeah. White as a clean piece of paper. I'll draw pictures on it.
You will?
Sure.
Pictures of what?
Me dancing with the freight superintendent in a pair of patent kid shoes. Yeah, with French heels on them as high as telegraph poles. And they'll play my favorite music.
Your favorite?
Yeah, the same as Elvis. Oh, you're the only star in my blue heaven.
What?
I'll wear a corsage.
What's that?
Flowers put on your dress at a formal affair. Rosebud, violet, and lilies in the valley. When you come home, it's withered, but you stick them in a bowl of water to freshen them up. That's what Alva done. The Cannonball Express.
You think a lot about Alva, don't you?
Oh, not so much. Now and then. It wasn't like death in the movies. Her bows disappeared. And he didn't have violin. I'm going back now.
Where to, Willie?
the water tank,
Yeah?
and start all over again. Maybe I'll break some kind of continuous record. Alva did once, at a dance marathon in Mobile, across the state line, Alabama. You can tell Frank Waters everything I told you. I don't have time for inexperienced people. I'm going out with popular railroad men with good salaries, too. Don't you believe me?
No, I think you're drawing an awful lot in your imagination.
Well, if I wanted to, I could prove it. But you wouldn't be worth convincing. I'm going to live for a long, long time like my sister. And when my lungs get affected, I'm going to die like she did. Maybe not like in the movies, with violins playing. But with my pearl earrings on and my solid gold beads from Memphis.
Yes?
And then, I guess,
What?
somebody else will inherit all of my clothes. The sky sure is white, ain't it?
Sure is.
White as a clean piece of paper. I'm going back now.
So long.
Yeah, so long. You're the only star in my blue heaven, and you're shining just for me.
Tennessee Williams, and when I read it, like all Tennessee Williams, the stage directions are as poetic, as I said, as the actual text. Tennessee Williams is a very difficult piece of writing to do, because there's so much that is there in a very short piece. If you think of it, we have a child who is left on her own, who is trying to be what others in her family were, but she thinks that that's a success. And we've got the thing about reality in the movies. All through we have got that image of the sky as white as a clean piece of paper. We have got the clean piece of paper she's given to draw on in school, and what she draws on it are ugly things. And if you like, what we've seen through this whole festival is hurt people and damaged people and how we work with them. So we have to think very much about how plaintive it is, because he's very clear in his introduction that this is a young, innocent girl who may have all of the makeup and the dresses and the jewellery that her sister once had on. Was she with all of these men? And you're left to question, did she or didn't she? Do they take advantage of her? And does she give in? We don't know. The answer's never really given there. But all through we must have this whole notion of a very innocent girl who is pretending to be something else, because that's all she's ever learned in her life. And from that comes the sadness. Look at the setting here. I mean, again, we did have the railway, because she has to walk along it. When she comes in, she has her doll, and actually she's eating the banana. And she needs to do that, because that, again, shows the innocence of her trying to keep her balance. And again, there's an image there, trying to keep your balance in life. Are you going to fall off the track, or are you going to stay on it? Very good acting spaces here with the box, with the rubbish over here, and we could see, and there was a mist as we came on, and we heard good sound effects of the train and the birds. So we had this whole notion of what was going to happen by the side of the railway track. Again, thinking of the costumes, we have to think about the shoddiness of the costumes. Even the young boy, we have to think about his dungarees as well. Why is he not at school? Why is he down here? He's not expecting to meet her. And when she comes along, and if you like, this is the essential thing that I think director and cast have to think about, is I don't think he's ever met her, but he's heard about her, because William has told all about, and maybe he's told lies, and maybe he's told the truth. But we need to think very carefully about, Frank Waters, the boy, has told him all about this girl. For me, the difficulty started at the beginning because we really do need to see her face on as soon as she comes on. Because she was downstage, because we were looking to her back, we weren't really getting that first vision which Tennessee Williams wants us to have of somebody innocent who is damaged, who's got rouge with her cheeks, who obviously has dressed up but is not the person or slut that we think that she is. So that actually didn't start off correctly for me there. Again, we needed to think about the balance between the two. Of course, Willie speaks more than Tom does, but we must think about the balance of power and where it goes from time to time. Why does she go into her song? Why does she think about her dolls when she is actually at a time of danger? And was there a time of danger on the stage with her? I mean, I think they had to create a time of danger because he has heard something about her. We don't know whether he's going to corner her or not, but we have to think that there's some fear there. These are two young actors. I don't know if they've been on the circuit before, and certainly what I would say to both of them is vocally there were many strengths in what they were doing. Just at the very beginning, be careful that we can hear you, that you are enunciating what you're doing. Willie had a very good vocal range and was able to give us a lot of her anger, a lot of her annoyance with life. Some of the sadness, I think that we have to really explore, director has to explore with this young actress, where we get the total innocence and sadness. And as you know, in the first night, the first play, I was saying, sometimes strip it away, don't act it. I wanted a wee bit more. There were moments, for example, when we were talking about school, when the two of them had something in common. I wanted to think more about something in common. The reaction to the story about Frank Waters, as soon as he mentions Frank Waters, away she goes. Now, I'm not sure the director did bring them together, and actually she came and she touched on the thing. I'm not sure she would, because she's fearful of men. If these men do come to her house, and remember, somebody's come to see if she's there and she's hidden away from them, we need to get them. And there was some of the poetry there, but for me I would have to say not enough of it, and certainly not enough of the danger. Tom, again, to me looked a bit too innocent, and she looked like the one that was not innocent, where actually it's the other way around, because he has got more about life and he's got all of these joys, and this is some prey that he can look at. And what we wanted to have seen was, on this very clear white picture, that we were beginning to see the ugliness of life, of what Willie's already faced, but also what she might face in this particular situation. Because no matter where she goes, she may have got the poetry within her. She may think of the pictures, she may think of the song that she sings, and there must be this dreadful sadness. Her mother and father, I think, she could have done without. It's going to be sad for her. The one thing that she can't do about, the one person she's missing is Alva. And we needed to really, in those moments when we're talking about Alva, get that really dreadful sadness about Alva's gone and I'm pretending to be her. So the dress needs to be bigger, everything needs to not really fit her, and we really need to see somebody who's playing at being grown up, because that's what happens when innocence is destroyed, and this is what Tennessee Williams is about. What I would say to these two young actors is, I think that they did a fairly effective job on stage. I think the director needs to work with them a lot more about how to bring those pictures to us. And Tennessee Williams, as I say, is a most difficult writer to do. And it's a lovely little piece, but it's a most difficult little piece.